New York City has always called itself the Mecca of basketball, but for decades, the lights at Madison Square Garden have shined on heartbreak, false promises, and short-lived stars. Knicks fans were waiting for someone who wasn't afraid of the pressure, someone who could handle the weight of the city. Enter Jalen Brunson, a guard too small, too overlooked, too doubted, but built for the fight. His journey wasn't about hype, it was about heart. And when he stepped onto the Garden floor, the city felt something it hadn't felt in years. Hope. Part 1. Early life. Built for the game. Jalen Brunson was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and grew up surrounded by basketball. His father, Rick Brunson, played 9 seasons in the NBA and later became a coach. From driveway games to late-night training sessions, Jalen was raised in an environment where toughness, work ethic, and discipline were non-negotiable. But Jalen's story isn't just about being the son of a pro. He built his own reputation early, dominating in high school and becoming a McDonald's All-American. Even then, he wasn't the flashiest. Scouts saw him as solid, but not spectacular. Jalen knew he'd have to prove himself at every level. Part 2. Villanova years. Learning how to win. At Villanova, Brunson's legacy truly began. Under Coach Jay Wright, he wasn't asked to be a highlight machine, he was asked to lead. And he did. With sharp decision-making, unshakable poise, and a willingness to sacrifice personal glory, he helped Villanova win 2 national championships in 3 years. In 2018, he was named National Player of the Year. But even with all that success, NBA scouts still doubted him. He wasn't explosive enough, not tall enough, not athletic enough. The criticisms followed him right into draft night. Part 3. Dallas days. The underrated star Brunson was drafted in the 2nd round by the Dallas Mavericks. A 2nd-round pick isn't supposed to become a star. They're usually role players, bench guys, and system fits. But Brunson didn't buy labels. He carved out minutes as Luka Doncic's backcourt partner, slowly proving he was more than a role player. His breakout came in the 2022 playoffs. With Luka injured, Brunson dropped 41 points against the Utah Jazz, carrying Dallas to a win. Suddenly, the league noticed. Jalen Brunson wasn't just Luka's teammate, he was a rising star. Part 4. The Knicks signing, a homecoming with pressure. When the New York Knicks signed Jalen Brunson in the summer of 2022, the basketball world didn't exactly celebrate. Many critics called it an overpay. Some labeled him as just a role player who had looked good in Dallas only because Luka Doncic drew so much defensive attention. The whispers were clear. Brunson was good, but not great. And in New York, that kind of doubt can crush a player. The spotlight at Madison Square Garden is unlike any other. Every shot is magnified, every turnover is headline news, and the pressure of history weighs heavy. The Knicks are one of the most iconic franchises in the NBA, but also one of the most tortured, and the city is desperate for a savior. Brunson could have crumbled under that pressure, but he didn't flinch. From the moment he put on that blue and orange jersey, he carried himself with poise, confidence, and fire. He wasn't trying to be someone else's version of a star. He played his game, steady and fearless. Game by game, Brunson proved the doubters wrong. His leadership on the floor was obvious. He didn't just score points, he set the tone. He organized the offense, lifted his teammates, and brought toughness on defense. Suddenly, the Knicks didn't look like a struggling team trying to find an identity. They looked like a contender with a real leader at the helm. Part 5. Breakout season. The Garden awakens. By his 2nd year in New York, Jalen Brunson wasn't just the Knicks leader. He was playing like one of the very best guards in the NBA. Every night, he gives fans something to remember. His step-back jumpers created space out of nothing. His clutch threes silenced opposing crowds. And his fearless drives to the rim, often against taller defenders, showed the heart of a player who refused to be intimidated. But it wasn't just about scoring. Brunson became the engine of the Knicks offense. His ability to read the floor, to set up teammates with perfect passes, and to control the game's tempo turned New York into a team that could compete with anyone. For years, the Knicks had lacked a true floor generally, someone who could keep the team steady in big moments. Brunson filled that void instantly. The playoffs told the real story. In a city that had waited decades for playoff magic, Brunson delivered. He dropped 40-point games, hit clutch shots when everything was on the line, and played with a calmness that reminded fans of the greats who once ruled Madison Square Garden. The roars from the crowd weren't just cheers, they were echoes of history, echoes of the Patrick Ewing era, when the Garden truly felt alive. Commentators began to take notice too. National media started calling Brunson the heartbeat of New York basketball. Opposing coaches designed entire defensive game plans just to slow him down, and yet, game after game, he found a way to shine. For Knicks fans, this wasn't just about numbers on a stat sheet. It was about pride. It was about finally having a star who embraced the weight of the city, who didn't run from the spotlight, but ran straight into it. Jalen Brunson was more than a player. He was reviving the soul of Madison Square Garden, giving hope to a fan base that had been starving for greatness for far too long. Part 6. Cultural Impact. A New York Hero. Jalen Brunson isn't flashy. He doesn't chase headlines. But in New York, that's exactly why he's beloved. He plays hard, he plays smart, and he plays for the city. Knicks fans see him as one of their own, a scrappy underdog who refuses to back down. In a city known for toughness, Brunson embodies it. He's become a symbol of hope, a reminder that you don't need hype to earn respect. You need results. Kids in New York wear his jersey, and the Garden feels alive again because of him. Part 7. The Future of the Knicks. The story of Jalen Brunson is still being written. He's already gone from second-round pick to the face of the Knicks. But his future, that could mean something even bigger, maybe the first Knicks championship in half a century. For now, one thing is clear. Brunson isn't just leading a team, he's leading a city. This was NBA Deep Dive, the untold story of Jalen Brunson's Knicks takeover. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to drop a comment on whether you think Brunson can bring a championship to New York, and of course, subscribe for more NBA stories.